Well, I mean, that was a lot better than last night. And you will probably not be getting any rants out of me for today's race. The end of the Xfinity Series season is here. I believe the official name is the NASCAR 2023 NASCAR Xfinity Series finale. That's the name of the race. But welcome in, everybody. I already put a poll up to see what you guys think. Be sure to like the stream. Let's get to over 100 likes. Subscribe if you're new, all that. And I see Noah Coleman in the chat. That's not hard, Jarrett. You're right. But when you bury the bar so down low, you got to at least talk about the positive. But I put a poll up asking, did you like this race? We're going to end that right now. 55% of you said it was better than the truck race. That's your bar for it. 39% said you liked it a lot. 2% meh and 2% no. So thank you guys for voting in that. We'll have more polls throughout the night. But first off, let us talk about this race, the 2023 NASCAR Xfinity Series finale. It was 202 laps long for 2 hours, 13 minutes, and 53 seconds. 12 lead changes among 6 leaders, 8 cautions on the day. Your champion this year, Cole Custer and his Stewart-Haas racing team, which momentarily will be having their championship trophy presentation. Somebody's really happy in the background of Justin Allgaier's interview. I don't know if y'all are watching right now, but there's like this woman with a plushie who's just dancing in the background. And then on the other end of Allgaier, you have the like sad looking. Someone just showed. Oh, I thought someone showed up in a truck to stop her. Yeah, she's like tweaking out back there. I don't know what the hell is going on. That is freaking weird, man. I don't think that's a kid, unless it's like a really tall kid. But yeah, Cole Custer getting back on track. Cole Custer is your champion of the 2023 NASCAR Xfinity Series season. He won by 0.6 of a second over Sheldon Creed. Creed's so close to what I promised before the stream that if he had won, I would have opened the stream singing Creed. Then you got Allgaier coming home, runner-up in the championship, third on the board today. Riley Herbst with the 4th place finish. Solid end to a solid season for him. And then you got Sam Mayer, 3rd in the championship, 5th on the board overall. Josh Berry in 6th. 7th is Austin Hill. Then 8th, Chandler Smith ahead of Sammy Smith and Kaz Grala, the top 10. Then Brandon Jones, Jeb Burton, Retzlaff, Raja Caruth with the 14th place finish in his Hendrick Motorsports car and debut. Hopefully that leads to a bit more. I know a lot of people are probably wanting him to run top 5 and like Kyle Larson would normally do, or Chase Elliott. But you got to remember he's a younger driver. I don't want to put him up to the standard of a Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott just yet. So all around solid run for him, right ahead of Moffitt in 15th, then Kligerman, Weatherman, Sieg, as in Ryan Sieg, Graham, and Clements, the top 20. Then Hemrick, Snyder, Jeffrey Earnhardt, Alfredo, Josh Williams, Ellis, Gase, John Hunter Nemechek, 4th of the championship for finishing 28th after getting squirreled up on that restart. And Brennan Poole rounds out the lead lap. Then you got 4 more that were on track afterwards. Timmy Hill in 30th, then Joe Graff Jr. in 31st, Perkins 32nd. Those all 2 laps down, and then 8 laps down for Stephen Parsons. After that, the rest were out of this race. Mosak, Hacker, Yaley, Kraus, and Kyle Sieg. That is your field. And before I forget, great song too, by the way. But before I forget, I will pop up these results up top here. And we'll be live tomorrow for the Cup race as well. So be sure to check that out, as well as podcast on Eric's channel this Wednesday night. Real quick, I saw some super chats roll through. I want to thank you guys real quick. Tyler McGonigal for 2. 4 wide off turn 2 with the crowd roaring Christ. Yeah, I would say that this is how you want to have one of these championship deciding races. If you're going to have the playoffs, you don't want what we had in the truck race yesterday, whether that was all playoff drivers or not. You don't want it to be just pure stupidity and whoever is the survivor wins the championship and then goes and gets plastered for his post-race conferences. I thought that all 4 of them raced solid today and smart. There was no dirty driving. There was a lot of storylines throughout. It was a lot of progression through the race and building up to that 4 wide off of turn 2. And to me, that's, if you're going to have this format, that's what I want from it. This was, to me, even with an overtime finish, they didn't wreck up a bunch of race cars that they didn't have to. They put it all on the line. And to me, this is what you want from this kind of race. So I'm happy, honestly, with it. I still think this will probably be the best race of the weekend. Was it a great race? No. It's Phoenix. It's not going to be, especially with new Phoenix. It certainly is not going to be. But for what this track has to offer, the Xfinity cars squeezed every bit of good that they could out of it. And for me, again, that's all I can ask for. So that's my long-winded answer to that one. Real quick to Jimmy, thank you for the 2. Hi, that race is better than last night. Very true. Very true. And Need for Speed, thank you for the 5, saying being an Allgaier and Gregson fan has been pain the past couple years, man. I bet. And looking in the chat right now, I see y'all are having a blast with it. Spam the number, whether it is 5, 12, 24, or 20. Spam the number of who you think is going to win the championship tomorrow while we go through this race. Who, and I will put it up as a poll too, who will be the Cup champ? I want to see what you guys think. So just spam away. Just keep spamming as much as you can with it. Who your championship pick will be. The chat is going nuts. I love it. I love it. Poll going up now as well. Let's just chill in here, talk about the end of this season, talk about the finale, and we'll go from there. Let's talk about stage 1. This is where I think the most eventful part of the race was. You start out with Sammy Smith on the pole, and it would only take 3 laps for Justin Allgaier to be spun around, and he was trying in turn 1 to pass John Hunter Nemechek and Austin Hill, ended up spinning himself. I think that's all on Allgaier being too aggressive too early, but luckily for him, everybody missed. Everyone went around him, and he was able to make a hard charge for the rest of the first stage. Granted, those cautions probably did help as well. They restarted 5 laps later, only for Kyle Sieg to be crashed. That's how he finished last today. And then finally, on lap 13, they have a good restart. 21 and the 18 go for it. Hill takes the lead from Smith, with Creed having to go down pit road on a restart violation. And he would pass through in the pits 3 laps later. Nemechek would end up getting past Hill, getting the lead, and winning stage 1 over Custer. Chandler Smith, Austin Hill, and Sam Mayer, the top 5. Sammy Smith, Justin Allgaier jumped all the way back up to 7th in the first stage from the rear. Great run all the way back up for him. And then got Brandon Jones, Myatt Snyder, and Brett Moffitt. Real quick, thank you, Tyler, for those 5. That restart gave me chills. To quote DW, what a finish. Firing for the win tomorrow. Pole, first pit stall. Now go win the dang thing. So hyped. I bet. I mean, if you're a Byron fan, I bet it's going to be, I think it's going to be a very even championship, push come to shove. We're going to end the poll real quick right here. Thank you guys for spamming it in there. I appreciate it. 42% of you saying that Blaney is going to be the winner of the championship this time tomorrow. Byron with 30%. Larson with 20%. 6% going to Old Bell. Well, let's get to the second stage. You have the 20, 007, and the 1 top 4. They were top 4 for a lot of the race today. Definitely could see the fast cars all year mixed with the ones with momentum. And we have the restart with Custer leading. He leads out to a long run. And for the majority of stage 2, it was relaxed. It was the polar opposite of the kind of wrecking, bash him up, beat him up that we had in stage 1. Derek Kraus would get up into the wall, bringing out a caution. That ended the stage with Custer, Nemechek, Mayer, the top 3 over Hill, Chandler Smith, Brandon Jones, Barry, Creed, Allgaier back to 9th at this point. He faded at that point, and then 10th was Herbst again. Before we go to the final stage, thank you to Terminal Sports for the 5. Is it bad that I was hoping for a whole field, or for the whole weekend to be an absolute shit show, to throw every egg at Phelps' face for defending the championship? No, and I don't get why people are all upset that the person that's the president of NASCAR is defending the playoffs. What's he supposed to do? Yeah, we know our playoffs suck, but, you know, the networks told us to. Like, no, he's not going to say that. So I don't get why people are really throwing eggs at him that much. I mean, remember who we had running the sport and making that state of the sport press conference like 6 years ago. So I don't want to go too hard on somebody who at least has shown to listen to the fans. And yeah, T-Birds, Skull Vikes. Actually, I got my Dean Lowry jersey. And the reason I got that was because I went to the same school as Dean. And he helped me like learn how to do different exercises and stuff in football camp when I was in high school. So fun fact about the Iceberg there. Marky Mark, thank you for the 2. Great race. Excited for tomorrow. Go Blaney. I think I know where your alliances align. By the way, like the stream up. We're almost at 100 likes, and subscribe if you're new. Let's get into the final stage, the meat and potatoes of this race. And looking in the chat too, you know, I see T-Bird saying Blaney's on fire. You know, I see Mikey going for 24. And let's see. Craig says young Sheldon looking great heading into 24. We'll talk about Sheldon Creed in a bit. We'll talk about the whole season in a bit. And we'll talk about next year, because next year is going to be a very odd year and a very, and it's going to be an end of the era kind of year. But let's get to the final stage first. Now, on lap 96, 104 to go, we have a restart. At this point, Sam Mayer has got up to the top 2 against Sheldon Creed. And, or not Sheldon Creed, Cole Custer. So many names that start with a C in this sport. Anyway, Custer would get ahead with 98 to go. The fan-controlled car wrecks, turned by Chris Hacker. So it went from fan-controlled to out of control. He wrecks into the pits. I don't know about y'all, but I get fan-controlled stuff can be fun, and having that engagement can be fun. And that's something like we really try and do on this show, on this channel. A fan-controlled car was never going to work well. I feel bad. I mean, that they definitely could tell. They probably took a lot of good sponsor money from that one. But Hacker, bone apple teeth, I guess, as he likes to say, when it comes to eating up that 08 and destroying him, getting him out. He wrecked in the pits, too. They had to have a longer, you know, a bit of an extended cleanup because of that. With 90 to go, we get it back restarted. Now, John Hunter Nemechek takes the lead, and this time it's Sam Mayer who falls back. Now, this wouldn't last long, as Sheldon Creed would come up there, and he would be taking it higher on the board to first. Listen, Creed's trending again. I don't know why. We're just rolling with it. But Creed takes the lead, only for John Hunter Nemechek to come right back and take it back from him. When that happens, though, only about 10 laps later, Myatt Snyder would crash in turn 3. No contact. I think they said he had wheel hop. And out of the pits, it's the 20, the 2, the 00, 7, and 1. All the championship guys up there. Basically, everybody that's in the storylines this week is up there. With 58 to go, we have the restart. The JRM cars again fall on the restart. Seems like it was their weak spot for a majority of this race, while the 20 and 00 were really the 2 leaders. Custer would get underneath Nemechek with 43 to go, taking the lead away from the 20, and it would only be about 10 laps because Chris Hacker brings out the caution, or spins, no yellow. Might have brought out the caution. The caution does come out, I should say, with 19 to go, where Mosek's in the wall. And this is where we see smoke coming out of Justin Allgaier's car. And at that point, they're just saying, screw it, we're going to stay out there. Ended up being the right call in the end. They didn't say what, I didn't hear the interview just because we were live, but I don't know whether or not it was engine related or tire related. Seemed like it, from the sound of it, it was coming out of the pipes, but they able to last just long enough. The field would pit on this caution, and the 00 would beat out the 7 and the 20, but with it, Hemrick would take 2 tires and be up front as well. Was no match for Custer, who got out to the lead. It was a battle of about 7/10 between the 20 and the 00 before that final caution comes out for Anthony Alfredo being spun by Cram. When the overtime finish comes, this is where it goes nuts. I have the replay right here. Seems like Nemechek has it, but Allgaier gets underneath him. After that, 3 wide for the lead with Custer underneath both of them. Mayer falls back in this. Then you got Nemechek falling out of line, going into 3 and 4. He ends up falling further back into the pack while it's Allgaier versus Custer. Custer takes the lead at the white flag, holds them off, and is able to get his championship this year. And he's coming back next year, so he may defend it. I can't remember the last 2-time champion back-to-back in the Xfinity Series. I remember there's Dale Jr. and Martin Truex Jr. I don't know if anyone's done it since then because, forgive me, my Xfinity Series history may be lacking. But that would put him in elite categories when it comes to Xfinity Series all-time greats. Or Reddick. Okay, Reddick. I was there. Of course, that'd be the one I'd forget. The one I was actually there for. Okay, I got it. Everyone's gonna keep putting it in because like everyone's at a different point. And Stenhouse. Really? Stenhouse? I always remember Stenhouse for sucking in the Xfinity Series and then getting parked and coming back and winning. All right, but anyway, season's over. That is the season. Overall, I'll give you guys a poll on this one. What did you think of the 2023 Xfinity Series season? If I can spell. I can't speak, I can't spell, but somehow we're live. But I'll give you 4 options. Loved it. Liked it. It was okay. Or disliked it. So there are your options. Let me know what you thought of the Xfinity Series season in 2023. Heading into 2024, and I'll say this. I liked it this year. I didn't think it was as good as 2022, but I liked it. I really liked it. I can't say I loved it. It wasn't the greatest Xfinity Series season, but the Xfinity Series is at such a high level that it's hard not to like it. For me, I am looking forward to next year. I'm looking forward to see the rivalries continuing. I like the fact that we have a little bit of continuity year over year. If you remember 2021 into 22, 21 wasn't as good, and 22 was really good because we continued those storylines into the next season. Unlike Cup, they don't really die down as much, and you got these younger guys or guys that make more mistakes. I am really looking forward to 2024. And to be fair, 2024 is the end of an era for the Xfinity Series in a big way. You got to remember this. Next year will be the final season for probably at least the next 6 to 10 years that the NASCAR Xfinity Series is on Fox and NBC. I personally think it's going to go out with a bang. I think it's going to be a really fun season to watch, but man, it is kind of odd after the last 10 years of these two networks covering Xfinity races. It's going to be odd going to just one place. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it ends off. Seeing how both these partners are coming back to NASCAR, I don't think that the TV providers are going to treat the Xfinity Series badly. So I'm excited to see how well they can send the series off into the sunset. And I'm really excited in 25 to see what NASCAR Productions and the CW can do. And it'll be available to a lot more people now. You won't have a championship on USA available to like 70 million. It'll be available to, according to the numbers, 100+ million people. So a lot more people will be able to probably watch it if they are able, or if NASCAR fans change. You got to remember, NASCAR fans are always difficult to change. Ratings, will go down on Big NBC. It went down on Big NBC at the start of the contract compared to ESPN because fans just don't change well. I think that's one big thing that CW and fans alike are going to have to understand. But I'm excited for the future of the Xfinity series, either next season or the season afterwards. And I have to admit, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I like all 4 drivers for the most part that are in that race. I think that You know, whether it's with momentum or season-long performance, all of them are good enough drivers to race for a championship. It's just a matter, in my opinion, on if the car can race well enough. I'm really hoping that this is not a championship that is decided solely on pit road. The pit crew should have an influence, yes. It is a team sport, but man, I really, really, really hope that it's not just Bell got first off pit road, he wins the championship, or Larson did like in 21, or Byron's first off the pits, he's gonna win, or Blaney is. I hope it's not that. I have that feeling that it is gonna be. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, y'all seem to be pretty split on all of them. When it comes to this season of the Xfinity Series, y'all were not as split. I asked, what did you think of the 2023 Xfinity Series season? 56% of you liked it. 34% of you loved it. 8% of you thought, it was okay. And 1% of you, or as it says now, 0, it was about 1% of you fully disliked it. Now, real quick, cover this last super chat here I think 2. First from Scott McNew for 5. Congrats to Custer. Well deserved. Glad it wasn't embarrassing like last night. Now back to the Michigan game. Who is Michigan playing? Because I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest Michigan fan, but if you're playing someone I dislike, looks like you're going to win anyway. So good for you. Fred Dog 81, thank you for the 5. By the way, Ben Rhodes thinks dinosaurs don't exist. Revoke his championship. Barney is real, damn it. I gotta say, man, Ben Rhodes might not be the most deserving champion, especially this year. Definitely backed into it. But damn, he's entertaining. He's freaking entertaining as hell. When I watched through that whole entire press conference to make that short, which, by the way, new short on the channel that you can check out after this about Ben Rhodes. He's something else, man. He is something else. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I want to get that truck series race out of my head. We're going to talk about it on Wednesday night on Eric Estep's channel for the NWP. So tune in at 8 p.m. Eastern time for that one. As much as I don't want to talk about that race, we're probably going to go in depth about it. And we'll be live tomorrow for the Cup post race. So if you are new here, subscribe. And if you're always here, well, I will see y'all tomorrow. I don't think there's really anything else to really go over per se. I think we about covered it. It was a fun Xfinity season, and well, now we just got one more to go. One race left in the season for all of NASCAR, and then we got 13 weeks with nothing. So enjoy it now, and enjoy your night beforehand, and I will see you tomorrow. And I believe it's daylight savings too, so I think we go backwards, so we get an extra hour of sleep tonight, so that's even better. So enjoy that, enjoy your night, enjoy your day tomorrow before the race, and afterwards, come see us. So until then, have a good one. Later, y'all. Oh, wrong button. It always ends on a blooper, man. Later. We're good.